Hey y'all, it's day 2 in the resurrection weekend, and I was reading the verse of the day today, which is chapter 53, verse 6 in Isaiah. And it says, all of us are like sheep that have strayed away and have left God's path to do our own thing, go in our own path. But yet still the Lord laid down our sins onto Jesus for all of us. And that's something that like we've heard before, or maybe like you haven't heard before and you've been hearing, and it's kind of just like, okay, like he did that, cool. But then as I kept reading on to like the devotional today, it posed the question, what gives Jesus the authority to make our lives better anyways? And I was kind of like, that's a weird question. Like, of course he has the authority, but just if you're not used to that authoritative power or like seeing Jesus in that way, it's kind of like, why do you get to say in my life? And they went on to pose a further question, how can Jesus give us abundant life in the face of our sickness and brokenness? Which is like, sickness and brokenness can be so daunting that it's just like, oh, I know I can't fix it, I know I can't do it, but like, this is my life, and like, I want to do it this way, and like, you're not doing it fast enough, or like, I don't understand the way that you're doing it, so like, like, you don't have the authority to be here. But understanding why Jesus is able to transform us is key into stepping boldly before him and asking for that transformation, because this is all about what the Easter weekend is about, is that transformation into us having a more full and abundant life. But if you don't know that or accept that, then you can't really ask for it. And so like through the cross, Jesus took our sins, yes, but he also took on our sickness and our anxiety and our lack of peace, which is, you looked around in the world at any time, like you just know that there is an abundant lack of all of that, of just abundant lack of peace and an abundance of all anxiety and sickness and just a whole bunch of nastiness. And his sacrifice was more than enough to restore us to both righteousness and the life that comes with it, a life of health full to bursting. And we were never meant to live with a partial understanding of what the cross did for us. Our greatest joy is that Jesus saved us in our entirety, in our spirit, our soul, and our body. He was faithful to play the part of the Good Shepherd. He laid down his life for his sheep who had previously gone astray, caught in sin and sickness. By laying down his life, he said to live a life that set you free, that you were meant to live in. And then it goes on to prompt you to read Isaiah 53, verse 6. And that's really what threw me. And it says, who has believed our message? To whom has the Lord revealed his powerful arm? My servant grew up in the Lord's presence like a tender green shoot, like the root in a dry ground. There was nothing beautiful or majestic about his presence, nothing to attract us to him. He was despised and rejected, a man of sorrows, acquainted with the deepest grief. Our backs turned on him and looked the other way. He was despised, and we did not care. Yet it was our weakness he carried. It was our sorrows that weighed him down. And we thought his troubles were a punishment from God, a punishment for his own sins. But he was pierced for our rebellion, crushed for our sins. He was beaten so that we could be whole. He was whipped so that we could be healed. All of us, like sheep, have strayed away. We left God's path to follow our own, yet the Lord lay on him the sins of us all. And y'all, when I read that, I was like, it's stuff that I've heard before, but I'm just like, it hit so differently this time. Like, we didn't deserve it at all. Like, not a single bit. Like, whether you believe, whether you don't believe, like whether you're the best believer, like, we all sinned, we all deserve death, and we all strayed away from him. But yet he still looked at us and was like, no, I need you, I want you, I made you for me, and I want you back, so I'm doing whatever it takes, and if that means my life, I'm gonna do it. And he went through the most torturous thing ever in human history. Also, he had the chance to come back to him. Like, it wasn't even guaranteed, just like the chance to choose him. And I'm like, wow. But I don't know, I just wanted to share that because that really just like blew my mind, hit in a different way today. So see you tomorrow.